Going on, Kingmakers? It's time for another video. It's morning over here. I got my double espresso in a wine glass. I just like drinking out of wine glasses. I was in a meeting the other day. I don't think about it these days. I was in a meeting the other day and I do like a sparkling water with like a quarter of a lemon and I squeeze into it and it's delicious, right? It's healthy and I'm just like in a meeting and drinking my sparkling water and somebody's like, "Are you drinking wine?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a sparkling water. Don't worry about it." In any case, today's question that I wanted to go over that I think may be relevant to quite a few projects is how do you sustain interest and engagement in a crypto project post-launch? I think this is a very good question because I actually made it, post about it this morning. I don't necessarily think that everybody should try to go out there and have this banger of a TGE type of thing, but that's what most projects try to do. So if you spend a lot of resources, effort, and so on and so forth to try to go out there and have this massive launch, I really think about it in terms of energy. So let's talk about like attention. People are deploying their attention, let's say, towards your project, and they're using energy to do that. And whenever you talk about energy, there's like nothing basically on this planet that is just going to be operating at a constant, maxed out energy level. Like it's always going to be an ebb and flow type of situation. And what I think is the mistake is that people think that the best approach, let's say, even, pre-TGE, post-TGE, even if you launch without token, like there's this sort of assumption that like, oh, the best thing that we can do is just to have this constant maxed out level of attention. Now, that just kind of goes against the laws of nature. And I think what's better is to lean into reality, which is that things are going to ebb and flow. And, there's going to be periods of mass attention and mass activity. But then there's going to be this pullback period where you really want to sort of like take a step back, like relax, rest, recuperate, and think about your next moves, which maybe you've thought about before, but you shouldn't always just sort of attempt to get this maximum level of attention because I really do believe that it goes against the laws of nature. And the thing is, it's more effective too, to lean into this ebb and flow. If we talk about crypto, I think somebody who does this really well, which makes a lot of sense, is Alex Becker. I have known about Alex Becker. I don't know him personally, but I've known about him for probably 12 years or so before he got into crypto because we both sort of come from the internet marketing industry. And that's where he earned his chops and like really, he was always a smart dude, but he really got marketing like, pretty early on. And if you look at his, what's the crypto gaming project he has? It's called Neot. If you look at what they're doing, it's absolutely just like most of the time, just kind of chilling out. And then every once in a while, just going super hard. So if you guys remember at the beginning of 2024, the Web3 gaming narrative was quite hot and everybody was talking about it. And that was super relevant for Becker and his project. And so they went super hard at that time. And they were posting about all the people that were joining the Neot, bought the NFT and whatnot. And they've really built on that. And then since then, that narrative has died off. There hasn't been any awesome games that come out that people were hoping for. There hasn't been any tokens that really crushed it. Well, at least as far as I know, I'm sure there's been some that have done it well, but it's not my, the niche that I'm most interested in. And so they've just kind of chilled out. They're not trying to like force it and they just like chilled out. And then I guarantee there's going to come another time where it makes sense for them to go hard again. And so that's the way to play it. It's just to, be strategic about it and kind of plan your, your conserve your energy and use the energy when you're likely to get the most bang for a buck out of it. And I'll tell you another example that's like non-crypto related that I think would have been very, effective. So, Andrew Tate, he went out there and sort of became this like massive person, right? Like you couldn't go anywhere online without seeing his face. And I got like tired of it, I was just like every day that I like, went on YouTube, there was like some new Andrew Tate interview. I'm like, I've heard everything the guy's got to say. I've watched a couple of his videos. Like I know what he's about. I don't need to see another interview with like Piers Morgan. You know what I mean? And it was just too much. And then it starts to backfire on you. I literally started like, unfollowing him and like unsubscribing, and like I didn't want anything else because I'd gotten enough, like way more than enough. What he should have done, in my opinion, would be like, let's say like a year ago, after he had this like big spike in awareness and attention, he should have deleted his Twitter, deleted all his social media accounts, him and his brother. They should have just like completely like not told anybody online, should have just like probably kept living on their lives the same way that they do, just without the social media part, and just gone completely silent online. What would have happened is that the demand for their for them would have like doubled, because now all of a sudden people are speculating, like, oh, what are they doing? And as we've talked about before, like the perception of reality is often like way sexier than the actual reality. So if you have people like speculating, that's why, the celebrity thing was always such a big thing, is that people are just like, they're thinking about these people and building up stories in their head about what's going on. And I promise you, like in most cases, the reality is like way less sexy. So if they would have just like completely disappeared off the face of the earth, continued to live their lives normally, people would be speculating, oh, where did Andrew Tate go? What is he doing? Like it would have caught like another wave. And then when he was ready, he should have come back. And then all the interviews would have been like, oh, where did you go? Why did you disappear? What have you been up to? And so on and so forth. So that's just another example to kind of help illustrate my take on this, which is that there's laws of nature at play here. You cannot be maxed out on, attention and energy, deploying energy. And so you need recuperate, you need to rest. And I think if you lean into that, you'll actually see better results than if you just try to like max out all the time. So those are, my thoughts on the whole idea of sustaining interest and engagement post a launch event or any event. It's just like ebbs and flows. Lean into that. There you go. See you in the next video.